Shabbat Shalom. Today we have Miguel Navarro giving us the word. Miguel Navarro nos va a traer la palabra hoy.
Already? Oh.
Miguel, you're live.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom todos.
Want to just say a quick prayer before we start and everything.
Quiero decir una oración antes de empezar.
Just want to Father, just thank you today for the word, Father.
Gracias, Padre, por tu palabra.
And I pray that the word that you bring, Yahweh, that it's your word is always beneficial, Yahweh.
Que tu palabra
Help me to speak into our lives of what you're showing us through your word, so that we can apply it to our lives and understand that every day that
para que entiendamos
we live, Yahweh, that this word is always showing us, and guiding us to where we need to go and where we need to be at.
donde tenemos que estar.
So I just want to thank you, Yeshua.
Gracias, Yeshua.
So, I read the readings for this week, and
leí las lecturas de esta semana.
I applied it to what's going on in my life, so that I can understand it.
Y lo aplico a mi vida para yo poder entenderlo.
And so that it would also apply to your life too as well.
También para que se aplique a tu vida.
And so, in the beginning, it says here in Exodus chapter 6.
Al libro de Éxodos capítulo 6.
And I'm going to start off in verse 2.
Y quiero empezar en verso 2.
And so, I'm not going to take too much time or anything, but I'm just going to
no voy a tomar mucho tiempo, pero
I'm just going to hopefully show you what Yahweh has been showing me.
Y quiero que quizás enseñarles lo que a mí me ha enseñado en estos días.
And Elohim spoke to Moshe and said to him, I am Yahweh. And I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, and by my name Yahweh was I not known to them. So Yahweh was
Elohim habló a Moshe y le dijo, yo soy Yahweh, y me aparecí a Abraham, a Isaac y Jacob como El Shaddai. No me hice conocer por mi nombre, el Yud Hei Wab Hei.
So Yahweh was saying that basically and it just hit me right now too.
Estaba aquí acabo de recibir que
Yahweh has appeared to us always as our provider.
Yahweh siempre se ha mostrado a nosotros como el que nos suple.
And if you look into your lives, you can see that Yahweh has always provided for you.
Si tú te fijas en tu vida, él siempre ha suplido para ti.
But here he's saying to Moshe,
pero
I am Yahweh.
Pero aquí a Moshe le está diciendo, yo soy Yahweh.
Now, El Shaddai means Elohim of enough, of efficiency, more than enough.
El que suple significa El Shaddai.
And Yahweh means basically the creator of life.
Yahweh es mismo el creador de todo.
So he's distinguishing to Moshe, I am the creator of life. I am coming to you as the creator of life.
Creador de todo.
And so then it goes on that it says here in verse 4, and also I established my covenant with them to give them the land of the Canaan and the land of their sojourning in which they have sojourneyed.
También aquí en verso 4 dice, también con ellos yo establecí mi pacto de darles la tierra de Canaán, la tierra donde ellos eran aquí para allá y habitarán como extranjeros.
And so I looked at it like, okay, I'm not in Canaan.
Yo no estoy en Canaán, yo lo dije.
But I am a son of Yahweh,
pero soy hijo de Yahweh.
I'm sojourning. I just left California and I came to Texas.
Me acabo de ir de California y ahora estoy en Texas.
So I sojourneyed.
So yo viajé.
And then it says here the next, and I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel who in Mitzrayim, and the Mitzrayites have enslaved them, and I have remembered my covenant.
Además, yo he oído el gemido de los hijos de Israel, a quienes los Mitzraim tenían en esclavitud, y yo he recordado de mi pacto.
So, I looked at his Mitzrayim. Egypt is...
Miré como Mitzraim siendo que
is the world system. The
el
world
sistema
government.
del mundo.
And back in California, I could just...
Allá en California
I was in debt. I could never...
estaba en deuda
Get out
todo el
of debt.
tiempo, nunca podía
I was
salir de la
struggling.
deuda, todo el tiempo luchando y batallando.
And I look at it as a form of I was in Mitzrayim.
Y lo miro como una forma que estaba como en Mitzrayim.
And I'm putting this as what I'm seeing in my life and everything.
Lo
So
estoy
we give
viendo,
you an
aplicándolo como
understanding
mi vida para que lo entiendan.
of the scripture. And so Yahweh basically pulled us out of California
Yahweh nos sacó de California
and moved us to another land.
y nos movió hacia otra tierra.
And then he says in verse 6,
Y en verso 6 dice,
say therefore the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I shall bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayites, and shall deliver you from their enslaving, and shall redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments.
por lo tanto dile a los hijos de Israel, yo soy Yahweh, yo los libraré del trabajo gravioso de los Mitzraim, los rescataré de la opresión de ellos y los redimiré con brazo extendido y con grandes juicios.
So here I'm saying is that Yahweh pulled us out from where we were from
Miré que Yahweh nos sacó de donde
to
éramos,
whatever burdens we had, whatever burdens you had over there and what I had.
las cargas que teníamos o las que yo tenía,
Yahweh's removing those things
está Él quitando esas cargas, esas luchas,
and just not only redeeming us,
no solamente
but
redimirlos,
those burdens that I had in California,
las cargas que yo tenía en California,
I'm seeing that Yahweh's going to take them out
veo que la está sacando Él,
because there was no future for me there,
no había un futuro para mí ahí,
and I was never going to be successful.
nunca podía tener éxito.
And I could, just go on about some couple things about, but I don't really want to get into that. I just want
Hay muchas cosas que
to
pudiera decir, pero realmente no quiero entrar a eso ahorita,
focus on what Yahweh was showing me through here.
sino enfocarme a lo que Yahweh me estaba mostrando aquí.
And then in verse 7,
En verso
it
7,
says, and shall take you as my people, and shall be your Elohim, and you shall know that I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brings you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayites.
yo los tomaré como mi pueblo y yo seré su Elohim. Entonces ustedes conocerán que yo soy Yahweh, quien nos libró de la tiranía de los Mitzraim.
And I bring you into a land which I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you as an inheritance. I am Yahweh.
Y los traeré a la tierra que yo les juré dar a Abraham, Isaac y Jacob. Yo les daré como herencia. Yo soy Yahweh.
So, Yahweh is taking you out of Mitzrayim
Yahweh te está sacando de Mitzraim
to bring you into a land that He promised, or a land that He's giving you for an
para
inheritance.
traerte a un lugar donde Él te ha dado herencia.
And that's Yahweh's whole point, is to bring you out of there,
El punto de Él es de sacarte de donde
put you in a
estás
place where you're going to prosper,
y ponerte en un lugar donde vas a prosperar
and to live a good life. Not only a good life,
y a
but a
poder
righteous
vivir una
life.
buena vida. No nomás eso, pero
I can't explain it in detail. I'm doing the best I can,
estoy tratando de explicarlo lo mejor que pueda.
but what I see in my life is Yahweh is taking me out of Egypt
Veo que me ha sacado de Egipto
and fulfilling a promise in my life that He
para poder
promised
cumplir una promesa en mi vida,
to give me an inheritance.
para poder darme una
You know,
herencia.
I feel like almost like Abraham, like where Abraham said, like, but who will inherit all that I
Como
have?
Abraham que dice, ¿y quién va a heredar todo lo que
Seeing
tengo?
I have no children.
Y yo no tengo hijos, dice.
But that's the promise Yahweh made for me specifically.
Pero esa es la promesa que Él me dio a mí también
To
específicamente.
pull me out of where I was at,
Sacarme de donde estaba
so that I may have an inheritance.
para que pueda tener una herencia.
And maybe it may be different for everybody else as they read these
Puede ser
scriptures.
diferente la escritura para ti cuando la estás leyendo, lo que te revela.
But it's what I'm trying to share to you, what Yahweh, is showing me through this scripture,
Pero yo les estoy compartiendo lo que Él me está mostrando a través de
so
esta
that you may
escritura.
understand that what Yahweh is trying to do in your lives,
Para
as
que tú
well.
entiendas lo que Él está tratando de hacer en tu vida,
That He is pulling you out of Egypt,
que Él te está sacando de
the
Egipto,
burdens that Egypt has given you,
las cargas que Egipto te ha dado,
so that you will be able to. I'm not trying to speak like those prosperity churches and anything,
no te va a usar como si de una iglesia de
but
prosperidad,
Yahweh does want you to prosper and
pero
everything.
sí Él quiere que prosperes.
But you may have to go through roads that you may not know,
Hay caminos que quizás vas a ir que no conoces
and it may be hard and everything. But
y va a ser difícil.
like earlier, how we were talking about that back in California, we didn't like, how can I say, like, we didn't depend on Yahweh as much as we should when we moved out here.
No dependíamos tanto en Él allá como cuando nos movimos aquí.
Because if something would go wrong, we go, oh, well, we can go to this thing, or we can go to
Allá
that
decíamos,
thing.
si algo pasa mal, pues vamos aquí, hacemos esto y todo.
We could do this, we could do that, and everything. And we weren't
Podíamos
really
depender.
relying on Yahweh. But since we've gotten here,
Ahora que llegamos acá,
all we've been able
dependemos
to do is rely on Yahweh.
depender solamente en Él.
So Yahweh's telling, the children of Israel that He's going to take them out of slavery.
Yahweh le está diciendo al pueblo de Israel que lo va a sacar de la esclavitud.
So I want to move to Ezekiel 28.
Quiero ir a Ezequiel 28.
Trying to find it.
Voy a buscar aquí.
Ezekiel 28, verse 25.
Ezequiel 28.
And it says here I'm going to read to 25 to 26.
Voy a leer el verso 25, 26.
Thus says the Master Yahweh, when I have gathered the house of Israel from the peoples among whom they are scattered, I shall be set apart in them before the eyes of the nations, and they shall dwell in their own lands which I gave to my servants Jacob, and they shall dwell safely and build houses and plant vineyards and dwell safely when I execute judgments on those around them who despise them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh the Elohim.
Yahweh Elohim dice, una vez que yo haya recogido la casa de Israel de los pueblos donde han sido dispersados, una vez haya mostrado que yo soy Kadosh en ellos mientras los Goim miran, entonces ellos habitarán en su propia tierra, la cual di a mi siervo Jacob.
So here Yahweh is basically like,
Aquí Yahweh está,
He pulled us out of California.
nos sacó de California.
He pulled me out of California from the
Voy a
burdens
decir
I
a
was
mí.
in. I was never going to be able to.
Me sacó de California de las
Out of
cargas que
those burdens.
tenía ahí.
And all of a sudden, like,
De repente,
these acts of judgment begin to start.
actos de juicio
En
veo que
California.
empiezan a pasar en California.
And it's just like he said, he pulls us out and then he
Nos
causes
saca
judgment
y causa
on those
juicio
who put heavy burdens on us.
a los que causan cargas pesadas.
But he also promises that he's going to give us homes,
Nos va a
vineyards,
dar casas,
and
viñas,
plants, and that we dwell
para que
safely.
podamos estar seguros.
So this is what he does after he pulls you out.
Es lo que él hace, es lo que te saca.
He brings judgment on the nations, those who mistreated you.
Te pone de juicio a los que te maltratan.
And he puts you in a safe place to dwell safely.
Y te pone en un lugar seguro para morar.
So I'm seeing that Yahweh has moved us here.
Veo que Yahweh nos ha movido aquí.
So that we dwell safely.
Para que estemos seguros.
And so then, in verse 29, he starts talking about
En verse
29 of Ezekiel. In the second verse.
Oh, verse 26.
Verse 29.
Verso 26 de Ezequiel.
In chapter 29.
Oh, 29. Capítulo 29.
In chapter 29 of Ezekiel.
De Ezequiel.
Yahweh starts bringing judgment on Mitzrayim.
Empieza a traer juicio a Misraim.
And I see right now that California is going through a lot of judgment.
Veo que California está pasando por mucho juicio ahorita.
And somebody asked me, I think it was the other day or Thursday.
Que alguien me preguntó el otro día.
Because I'm new to where I'm working at. And they asked
que
me.
era nuevo donde estaba trabajando.
And this lady asked me, well, she's like, oh, you're from California?
Me dice, oh, eres de California.
Why'd you move from California?
¿Por qué te moviste de California?
And I was just straight out honest and blunt. I said, honestly,
la verdad le dije.
I told her because of judgments.
Por juicios le dije.
And they're like, judgments?
Dice, juicios.
And I go, if you know where I live from and everything, and
si sabes dónde vivo,
you know what's going on, and
y sabes lo que está pasando,
then you know it's judgment that's happening in that land.
Ves que hay juicio que está pasando en la tierra.
Because for a long time, Gilroy was was dry.
Por mucho tiempo estaba seco.
And then all of a sudden, they're all flooded.
De repente estaban teniendo mucha agua hundiéndose.
And I don't know how to explain, but it's just what I'm reading is what Yahweh says He's going to.
No sé cómo explicarlo, pero es como
judgment on those
si lo que veo
who
es como
mistreated you.
juicios que los te maltrataron.
And it's, I don't know, I mean, there's just, it's too hard to put into words and everything.
Es duro ponerlo en palabras
What I want to explain and everything.
Lo que quiero explicar.
But I'm at a loss for words at this moment.
En este momento estoy sin palabras.
So I'm just going to pray, Yahweh, just
Padre,
give me the words to say what you want to say, Father.
Dame las palabras para poder darlas.
You know what you want to convey, and
Tú eres el que quieres dar el mensaje.
I'm asking you to help me.
Quiero que seas tú el que me ayude.
And so Yahweh just pulled us out of danger.
Yahweh nos sacó de peligro.
And bring us here to have a better future and
y nos trajo aquí para tener un futuro mejor, una mejor vida.
And it may be rough because
quizás es
you don't
un
know
poco
the
difícil
path that you need to take.
Porque no sabes el camino que tenías que tomar.
But that's where Yahweh wants you to. That's where He's saying now, you're going to, before you knew me as the God of provision.
Antes me conocías como el Elohim de provisión.
Now you're going to have to know me as the Yah of everything.
Ahora me tienes que llegar a conocer como el Yah de todo.
And you have to put your whole dependence on me now.
Y ahora tienes que depender en mí.
And that may be a struggle for some and everything.
Quizás sea una lucha para unos.
Because I don't know. But anyway.
No sé, pero.
So I want to move to chapter. We'll continue this going and everything. I mean.
Vamos a seguir. Vamos a
Luke chapter 11.
Vamos a Lucas 11.
There's other stuff I want to share, but it's just.
Hay otra cosa que quiero expresar, pero.
It's I don't think it really would help you out at this moment.
No creo que en este momento te ayudaría.
So in Luke chapter 11,
Capítulo 11 de Lucas,
verse 14,
11:14.
and I'm going to read from 14 to 22. And he was casting out demons, and it was dumb. And he was casting out demons, and he was casting out a demon, and it was dumb. And it came to be when the demon had gone out that the dumb spoke, and the crowds marveled. But some of them said, he cast out demons by Beelzebub, the ruler of the demons. And others, trying him, were seeking from him a sign from heaven. And he, knowing their thoughts, said to them, every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and the house is divided against a house. And every house that is divided against itself is laid waste, and the house divided against a house falls. So if Satan also is divided against himself, he shall, how shall his reign stand? Because you say, I cast out demons by Beelzebub. Now if I cast out demons by Beelzebub, by whom do your sons cast them out? Because they shall be judges. But if I cast out demons by the finger of Elohim, then the reign of Elohim has come upon you.
El 14 al 20. Él estaba expulsando un demonio que era de mudo. Cuando el demonio había salido del hombre, él había estado mudo, habló y la gente quedó atónita. Pero algunos de ellos dijeron, es por el Beelzebub, el gobernador de los demonios, el que fue echado el demonio. Y el otro, tratando de tenderle una trampa, demandaron a una señal del cielo. Pero él, sabiendo que estaban pensando, les dijo, todo reino dividido contra él sí mismo es destruido, con una casa derrumbándose sobre otra. Así que si Satán está dividido contra sí mismo, ¿cómo puede sobrevivir el reino? Estoy preguntando porque ustedes dicen que es por Beelzebub que yo echo fuera demonios. Si yo expulso demonios por Beelzebub, por quien los echo fuera de su gente, por tanto ellos serán sus jueces. Pero si echo fuera demonios por el dedo de Elohim, entonces el reino de Elohim ha venido sobre ustedes.
So, I was asking Yahweh,
Le preguntaba a Yahweh,
because I was praying, I wanted to understand. It said,
quería
where
entender,
it says here, but if I cast out demons by the finger of Elohim,
pero si
then
echo
the
fuera
reign of
demonios en el
Elohim has
dedo
come
de
upon
Elohim,
you.
el reino de Elohim vendrá.
And I was asking him, like, what does it mean, the finger?
¿Qué quiere decir el dedo?
And it's basically like when you, where I can understand it is that, like, you know, it's a blueprint where you leave a
Es como
fingerprint.
un plano.
And I was scrolling through some videos, and I found a video, and it was basically, it showed
Estaba viendo unos videos y
water receding,
el agua estaba
and how
recediendo
it left these marks
y
on the land.
cómo dejó las marcas en la tierra.
And so they found a big plain,
Encontraron un gran terreno,
and on it were huge markings of water that receded.
había grandes marcas del agua
And
que
they
descendían.
said, and they said that this could only been caused by a huge flood that
Esto
happened.
solamente podía haber pasado por un gran diluvio.
And so Yahweh was showing me that, you know, through basically that
Yahweh estaba mostrando que
anytime it mentions, you know, in the scripture an outstretched arm,
cada vez que habla de que un brazo
it's
fuerte
either to save or to bring
es
judgment.
para salvar o traer juicio.
And the flood is one of those judgments.
El diluvio fue un juicio.
But yet he says he's still going to perform judgments on the nations.
Pero aún va a ser todavía juicio sobre las naciones.
And those who cause you trouble.
Y todos los que cual causan problemas.
That's why I'm saying that right now my hometown is flooded.
Y donde yo era, agua, mucho desastre con el agua.
Because it's a judgment that Yahweh is passing through that
Porque
land.
son juicios que está pasando sobre las tierras.
And so it's sorry, I get stuck in anything. It's just.
Perdóneme que a veces me atoro ahí.
But I don't know what's in the future if Yahweh's going to do more.
No sé qué está en el futuro, si Yahweh va a hacer más.
But it'll be something to see and everything.
Va a ser algo que vamos a ver, a tener que ver.
And I wish I had more and everything, but
quisiera tener más, pero
that's all I have.
Es todo lo que tengo. Amén. Thank you, Brother Miguel.